All right, everyone, how we doing today? I asked, you answered. I wanted to thank you for your input. My name is Bill Jones. I'm the head instructor of top-level martial arts in beautiful downtown Cuyahoga Falls. Black belt under Master Pedro Sauer and Tony Rinaldi, and you're watching Professor's Corner. So, Professor's Corner will go on. So, what I got out of the comments were the two things people were most interested in were the rolling with commentary, and someone, I can't remember off the top of my head, but whoever had the idea for the commentary being from both people, not just me, but also like, hey, what was the blue belt or the purple belt or the brown belt or whatever? What were they thinking in the moment? I think that's a great idea. That's super cool content that I don't think a lot of people do. And I want to do a little bit of that. So here's my, and then many of you said, hey, I like the idea of Professor's Corner. I think it's cool how it is. Keep going with that. Realistically, though, I have to stick with what I have time to do, right? Like, obviously, I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I don't really have aspirations of becoming a full-time YouTuber. I think one video a week is realistic for me to do. But what I'd like to do is get on a schedule, maybe starting in October, where one of those weekly videos is the rolling video, and then the other three are basic Professor Corner videos. So I think that's probably the way to go. That gives me time to, film because it's going to take a lot of time to do the others. You have to do the filming of the initial setup, which you would think would be easy, just film in class, right? Like, a lot of people don't want to be on film like that. They're self-conscious about that kind of thing. So I have to find people who are willing to get videoed. And then on top of that, I've got to find, time that they can also sit down and record their commentary over top of it as well as mine. We could sit there together, podcast style, and just record what we were thinking in the moment. And just, maybe just find interesting moments of the role. And maybe we don't even show the whole role if there's some boring parts or parts that we think aren't that interesting overall. I think the most interesting part for most people is going to be not necessarily the techniques I'm using, but how I'm approaching the role in general. Because I think there's a huge difference in how you approach roles in the academy versus how you approach roles, say, for a tournament. In a tournament, I'm playing to my strengths 100% of the time. That is what I need to do. I'm just trying to win. Whereas in the academy, it's not necessarily that way. And I would say 99% of the time, it's not that way in the academy. It's very rare that I'm rolling, quote, to win in the academy. And even if I want to win, it's very rare that I'm playing to my strengths. Because like, if I just, okay, everybody, let's stand up, Uchimata, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Uchimata, or I'm going to take them down with a sacrifice throw. End up in side control, avoid passing the guard altogether, and Kimura everybody. That's what I'm going to do. That's boring to watch. So I think it's going to be interesting. And if you're watching this and you're one of my students and you're interested in being part of this, I'd love to do this with you. But like, not only, hey, this is me rolling a white belt. It's, hey, this is me rolling a white belt female who I outweigh by 120 pounds. What am I doing to approach that role? Because that's something I hear a lot of, is people asking online, hey, I feel awkward rolling with, and I know it sounds sexist, but I don't think they mean it that way, but like, feel awkward rolling with girls because, like, I'm a lot bigger than them and stronger, and I don't want to hurt anybody. And I get why people would think that's sexist, but also as a big, strong guy who's good at jiu-jitsu, I don't want to hurt people, and whether girl or boy, doesn't matter. But like, you see that a lot, and it's like, okay, well, how does this guy who's been doing it for years approach those kind of roles? So I think that would be an interesting role. I think it's going to be interesting for me to call out, hey, I'm going to roll this purple belt. I've already got someone in mind who I know will do it. I'm going to roll this purple belt who's about my size. I know he's got good kimuras and bad wrists. What am I going to do to try to train with him so that we both maximize our training, but also I don't hurt his wrists and I don't get hit by his kimura. I force him to do something that he doesn't like to do. Things like that. I think that that component of it can be more interesting than the rest of the role, combined. So, and then I think getting an idea of how the students are thinking will help me out a lot as a coach too, because sometimes I might believe that they're thinking they're doing one thing when in reality they're just doing something because they're freaking out, wondering why the black belt's not moving or whatever. That's the biggest mind what's the nice mind freak that black belts have on lower belts, I think, is that we set so many traps. You assume everything's a trap, and that would be wonderful. I wish I was that good. A friend of mine who trains with Master Sauer all the time asked him once. He said, he and his buddy were making a bet. This is my friend David. He said, hey, how much of Master Sauer's game do you think is traps? Setting up traps. And they guessed it was going to be 40-50%, maybe 60%. And they asked Master Sauer, and he said, 100%. Everything I do is a trap. I want you to give me something all the time. And so, I would love to say that I'm there, but man, I am not anywhere close to that kind of level. So, I can tell you, if you roll me and I'm not doing anything, it may just be because I'm being lazy. Maybe it's not a trap. Maybe it is. But we'll find out in the video, and I think it'll be interesting to get the students' perspective as to what they're thinking, and it'll help me coach people better as well. So I'm excited about this. I haven't come up with a name for the segment yet, so if you have a cool name, let me know. Which actually brings me to another point. Since we're nearing episode 100, why did I call this Professor's Corner? For anybody who doesn't know, in the Pedro Sauer Association, you earn your professorship at 3rd degree black belt. I know it's not like that everywhere. Some places every black belt is a professor. Some places you have to wait a year and you earn the bars on the end, and those are what make you a professor. But with Master Sauer, it's 3rd degree black belt. He wants you to, basically what he would like to see is for you to take someone from white belt to black belt before he considers you a professor, and that takes about 10 years. As a black belt, he wants to see you do that. And so that takes about 10 years, and so, there you go. That's about how long it takes to get your 3rd degree black belt. Currently, I'm a 2nd degree black belt. And I was hanging out with my friend Jeff Curran, who, if you don't know who Jeff Curran is, just look it up online, man. He's an OG badass, and I love him. He's a professor under Master Sauer, and one of the most skilled guys I've ever had the pleasure to be on the mats with. And he asked me one time, half jokingly, he's like, so who's the professor in your video? And I just said, look, man, I dress for the job I want. and that's kind of where it comes from, but also because, Coach's Corner is kind of taken. So I thought, well, we'll just call it Professor's Corner. That's kind of a jiu-jitsu term, and we'll go with that. So that's really all it was. It was, Professor was my second goal in jiu-jitsu. My first goal was to earn purple belt, because I read somewhere that if you can get to purple belt, you can definitely make it to black belt. So my first goal was to earn purple belt. And then after that, I said, well, I know I'm going to make it to black belt, so my next goal is 3rd degree black belt. And my ultimate goal is 6th degree black belt. Now, if I get farther than that, that means I've lived longer than I expected, and that's amazing. But my main goal in jiu-jitsu, from a rank perspective, is to try to train long enough. And keep in mind, the reason for the rank goal is because it means I'm still training. It's not because I necessarily care about the rank. There's nothing special about a 6th degree black belt other than you've been training for, you've been a black belt for 10, and then another 15, 25 years. So you've been training for about 35 years at that point. So I just want to know that I'm still on the mat at that age. So that's why that's my ultimate goal. And then I have other goals within the martial arts that I'm trying to achieve as well. But those don't really have anything to do with this segment. So I realize this video has been a little bit of hodgepodge, but it's more about, what's coming up, what you can expect, how I'm going to make the channel better, and the things that, I don't know, maybe a little bit here and there about me that I've never really talked about. So I hope you found it interesting, guys. I can't wait to start this whole thing. It's going to take me about a month to get it going, though, to be honest, but I am going to try to get back on track. Things in my academy are smoothing out now, and I think that I can get to doing the videos, and nobody seems to mind that I do them from my car, so it's never been a high production value show anyway, so I'm not sure that matters as much as maybe the content that's on it. So thank you for watching. Hey, do me a favor, if you think this is worth, if you think this channel's worth watching, I am trying to get to 1,000 viewers. It just gives me more options as far as, or 1,000 subscribers. It just gives me more options as far as like, the things I can do within the channel. I can put up polls, and I can post funny memes and stuff like that to you as well if I have 1,000 subscribers. So, I doubt, I don't know, maybe we get to the point where we monetize it, but I really don't think that's the main purpose here. But I am trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, so I'll do better to stay on and give you weekly updates, and then hopefully you guys feel that it's worthy of a share. All right, my friends, I'll talk to you later. Thanks again. Have a great one.